Welcome to 1930s England, where one party guest was not lucky enough to see the morning light. Now it's up to you and your team of sleuths to work together and figure out who the murderer is before they escape. Start by taking the deck, which consists of 24 cards numbered 1 to 24, and set aside the murderer card and the detective card. For a game of 3 to 4 players, use only cards 1 to 18. For a game of 5 to 8 players, use the entire deck. Proceed by shuffling the remaining cards. Once the deck has been rearranged, slide the detective card near the bottom of the pile and the murderer card near the top. Deal each player 2 cards, starting from the top of the deck. Place the remaining cards face down on the table. This is the draw pile. Cards with a blue background and this symbol are action cards. The action, written on the lower portion of the card, is applied once played. Cards with a red background and this symbol are effect cards. Each listed effect is in play as soon as it's in your hand and stays in play until you pass it along. The player who has most recently read or watched a murder mystery starts the game. The first player will read their cards to themselves and play one of them. However, depending on what the cards direct, they may be forced to play a specific card which will then be discarded face up or passed to another player. After the first player's turn is over, the person to the left makes the next play. Players do not draw another card until the start of their next turn. There are 2 phases at the start of a player's turn. Draw. If you have less than 2 cards, draw from the draw deck until you have 2. Otherwise, skip this phase. Play. Play 1 card of your choice, unless the card directions specify which one you must play. Either place the card onto the discard pile, or pass them to another player. Players may speak throughout the game, but cannot discuss the cards in their hands or the cards they've seen unless prompted otherwise by a specific card. However, players can look through the discard pile at any time and discuss those cards, but the order in which the cards were discarded must remain intact. The players win if the detective chooses a player holding only the murderer card in their hand, forcing them to discard it, or if the murderer and informant cards end up in the same hand. The players lose if the murderer and witness cards end up in the same hand, or if a player needs to draw from the draw deck on their turn and there are no remaining cards. This means the murderer has escaped before you could exact justice. Players can score their winning game by comparing it to the included chart, which is based on how many cards were left in the draw deck when the game ended. Good luck, detectives. There's been a murder and it's up to you to solve it. Now get to work.